videos before, please check the playlist. Please learn techniques properly. But today I'd like to focus more on the students' mistake and then what they need to do to fix the mistake. So this is what exactly happens when you're playing, when you have to tuck your thumb. You're not really playing the middle of the white keys below black keys. So your fingers end up sliding in slightly to prepare your thumb to be tucked in. You see what I mean? Because if you play always the same spot of the white key, you end up rotating your wrist. Then you won't be able to play clean, even fast, right? So what you're trying to play here is that instead of playing the middle of the white keys, slightly sliding in towards the black key, and so you're making space for your thumb to be tucked in. You understand that? So it's easier for you to tuck your thumb because you're making enough space for your thumb to be tucked in. In that case, you don't really have to rotate your wrist, right? So slightly slide in a little bit like this. So you don't really rotating wrist, but it's very subtle movement. Yes, doesn't mean that you're locking your wrist. Obviously, you need to have a subtle movement, the micro movement of your wrist to slightly rotate, but it's not really all the way exaggerated way, right? You have to keep your wrist up, and most importantly, you have to keep your thumb perched. You never lay down using side finger, but side fingertip. Okay, so make sure you use the side fingertip, not side fingers, right? So keep your thumb perched, make sure you use a dangling wrist, and then your wrist is a little bit higher than your fingertip, okay? So you should never bend your hand against the wrist or lowering your wrist, but keep your wrist up as if it's dangling, and then keep your thumb perched. Before, you never lay down your fingers, you never lay down your thumb. So if you lay down your thumb, right, the arch shape of your hand collapses, right? So always keep your hand in the arch shape and then keep maintaining the dangling wrist, right? So if you lay down, you end up moving your wrist up and down every time when you're using thumb, right? So you're not laying down to use the side finger, but side fingertip. But make sure your torso is not too close to the keyboard. Make sure you have enough room space between your torso and the keyboard. So you can move your wrist and the forearm freely. Alright? And then you must use a flat feet on the ground as a support. Right? It's going to give you support and stability when you're doing the low register or high register. So you don't have to move your sitting position or shifting your position, right? So this is exactly what happens for students who have weak fingers. So they're not able to bend their top knuckle and base knuckle, but flipping, flattening and flipping, and sliding. So this is the worst that you can have when playing the scales, right? So make sure that you're having your hand always in arch shape, and keep the top knuckle and then the middle knuckle bent, so you don't end up sliding with the flat fingers.